Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3, and here are the top stories making headlines this evening.
Mr. Matlala would not have asked for a meeting with you, and he would not have made an effort to meet with you in January 2024 if you had nothing useful to provide to him.
Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya's fourth day on the stand saw his categorical denials over allegedly receiving impalas from alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala coincidentally change when the evidence showed him otherwise.
Cell phone analysis revealed communication between officials and foreign nationals.
Officials entrusted with safeguarding the integrity of the Home Affairs Department have allegedly turned their positions into profit-making schemes.
Our mothers are paying 900 for electricity. That is not fair. Other sections are not paying for electricity and water.
And just a few hours before Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi delivered his State of the Province address, mayhem erupted in various parts of Tembisa in Ekurhuleni over water and electricity cuts. It's Monday, 8 o'clock Central African Time. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3 as we begin a brand new week. I am Paulette Nell, and as per usual, it's an absolute pleasure being in your company. Let's get into it, keeping you abreast with the latest developments in and around your world. With that said, this leads the bulletin this evening. Suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya's fourth day on the stand saw his categorical denials over allegedly receiving impalas from alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala coincidentally change when the evidence showed him otherwise. The inconsistencies in his testimony, however, did not go unnoticed before the probe.
Suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, has categorically denied receiving impalas from alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala. But when WhatsApp exchanges painted a different picture, Sibiya added a different detail to rationalize the evidence put to him, a pattern that didn't go unnoticed.
Then we take you to the messages, and the messages show that in fact the arrangement was through Mr. Matlala, because it says from CAT. So then you say, well, yes, you realized that, and so your way of dealing with it was to say you're not going to accept delivery from a service provider. But then when you're taken to the evidence which shows that there was delivery and that there are impala on your property, coincidentally, after the date of delivery, as we see from the chats, then you say that the Zimbabwean gardener went and procured it for you.
A similar challenge when he sought to advance that he was of no value to Matlala, an assertion that was quickly corrected by the Commission's bench.
Mr. Matlala would not have asked for a meeting with you, and he would not have made an effort to meet with you in January 2024 if you had nothing useful to provide to him.
This alleged benefit Sibiya received through the delivery of impalas was also the subject of Witness C's recording of Matlala shortly after the latter's arrest. Sibiya, however, questions the credibility of the recording before the probe.
I'm very worried about the evidence leader because she selectively chooses portions that she thinks could only address what she wants to achieve, but also deliberately choosing to ignore the fact that Mr. Matlala raised an issue and said, I have a problem with this recording. This is not my voice. It was AI generated.
The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Officials entrusted with safeguarding the integrity of the Home Affairs Department have allegedly turned their positions into profit-making schemes. This is according to the Special Investigating Unit's interim report, which revealed that a handful of corrupt Home Affairs officials pocketed over 16 million rand from foreign nationals. In turn, those foreign nationals allegedly generated financial gains of up to 181 million rand after acquiring fraudulent South African documents.
A whistleblower alleged that foreign nationals fraudulently entered the country and obtained asylum seeker permits, them to apply for permanent residence and ultimately citizenship. Special investigating unit to secure a special tribunal order to search 5 refugee reception offices. Alongside the hawks, investigators seized laptops, desktops, cell phones, external drives and files. SIU head Leonard Lekgetho says cell phone analysis uncovered elements of fraudulent and corrupt activities.
Cell phone analysis revealed communication between officials and foreign nationals, with payments via e-wallet ranging from 500 to 3,000, facilitating the unlawful issuing of permits and visa to unqualified individuals. Payments were made through various methods, cash hidden in application form, with office door closed to avoid cameras, and we also found e-wallet deposit using non-RICA registered or fraudulently RICA registered number.
Investigation traced the scheme to low-ranking Home Affairs officials who allegedly accumulated unexplained wealth by selling immigration documents to undeserving foreigners.
The SIU can reveal that so far we have uncovered that 4 officials who earn less than 25,000 a month have received a total of 16.3 million in direct deposit. Evidence indicates that certain members of this group have acquired significant assets that are grossly disproportionate to their legal income.
Also uncovered a coordinated network of religious leaders, among them Shepherd Bushiri and Pastor Timothy Omotoso, who allegedly exploited the immigration system through fraudulent documentation, employment confirmations, marriages of convenience, and syndicate-backed sponsorships to falsify financial stability. Offenses Timo, SABC News, Pretoria.
2 additional charges have been added to Bellarmine Mugabe and his co-accused Tobias Matonze, who made their first appearance in the Alexandra Magistrates Court. Both were initially only facing an attempted murder charge, but they are now also facing charges of possession of a firearm and defeating the ends of justice over the missing gun, which was allegedly used to shoot their gardener last week Thursday.
Well, there was a bit of a delay to the start of today's proceedings as both of the accused, Bellarmine Mugabe as well as Tobias Matonze, were taken to the Randburg Magistrates Court instead of being brought here to the Alexandra Magistrates Court for their first court appearance. Eventually, they were brought in here, and now 2 additional charges have been added.
Attempted murder, which is count number 1. The state will be applying the doctrine of common purpose. Both of the accused persons are facing that count. We have count number 2, that is defeating and obstructing the course of justice. This is in relation to the firearm that was allegedly used during the commission of the offense, which the firearm up to date has not been recovered. Both of them are facing that charge, doctrine of common purpose. Count number 3, possession of a firearm.
Bail application is scheduled to get underway on the 3rd of March.
They still need to approach the Department of Home Affairs and other agencies in order to verify a number of things incidental to the statuses of the accused.
Both the accused, Bellarmine Mugabe as well as Tobias Matonze, will remain in custody until that bail application. Crisalda Lewis, SABC News at the Alexandra Magistrates Court.
When we come back, mayhem erupted in various parts of Tembisa, Ekurhuleni over water and electricity cuts. More on this after a short break. Welcome back. Let's continue with this. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has revealed a 760 million rand water infrastructure boost for the province. The major investment aims to tackle water woes, particularly in Johannesburg. Lesufi announced the project as he delivered a State of the Province address in Nasrec earlier tonight.
On the 27th of January 2026, we were hit by an unexpected water shortage in our province. there was a huge explosion at the Rand water plant. After this explosion, fire hit our transmission machines, followed by a huge burst pipe. Immediately thereafter, our water supply was deeply affected across the province. The first suburban area to be hit hard was Midrand. Lately, we can now declare that water has been fully restored in the Midrand area and surrounding areas. However, the areas that remain stubborn and extremely difficult to resolve the water challenges are part of Westdene, Coronationville, Sophia Town, Melville, Emarentia, and some sections of Joburg. To permanently resolve these issues, a 760 million massive infrastructure investment upgrade is currently underway in the city of Johannesburg over a phased approach. The first phase, it will be the construction of a new ground reservoir and a tower in Brixton, and will go live this Saturday to improve water supply in these areas.
But just a few hours before Lesufi delivered his State of the Province address, mayhem erupted in various parts of Tembisa in Ekurhuleni over water and electricity cuts. Community members barricaded roads, closing various main routes around the township, demanding resolutions to the ongoing service delivery challenges.
Tires went up in smoke as residents blocked main roads while fighting for electricity and water. Most of their homes' electricity has been disconnected over non-payment.
At first, they used to give us 100 units. Right now, they are no longer giving us anything. And then at the end of the month, when the bills come, it will be something close to 12,000 rand.
Our mothers are paying 900 for electricity. That is not fair. Other sections are not paying for electricity and water.
The protest also disrupted traffic severely, with e-hailing services feeling the pinch.
Honestly speaking, what they are doing is really impacting not just only them, or the cars that they are trying to block, but also us who are trying to put food on the table.
When I saw the police firing fire bullets, I thought, this is not right, because the people are exercising their rights. They are striking because they are not happy.
Community leaders say the high rates and taxes coupled with expensive electricity and water woes is infringing on their dignity. They demand that all debt be scrapped and for the indigent program to be reviewed.
The municipality of Ekurhuleni is selling us the electricity at a very high amount because we're not buying it direct from Eskom, we're buying it from the third part. So the rates are very high, so we are struggling with that.
The Ekurhuleni municipality is yet to give direction on the way forward and to stipulate clearer plans on the indigent program that affects struggling community members. Patricia Fasache, SABC News in Tembisa.
In other news, the TRC cases inquiry has heard that former Justice Minister Bridget Mabandla instructed the National Prosecuting Authority to stop the prosecution of all TRC cases in November 2004. This was the account of former acting NDPP Dr. Silas Ramaite to the inquiry underway in Newtown, Johannesburg.
I have received an instruction from the minister that the investigation and prosecution of all TRC, and that's what she had said, and specifically when she referred to the guidelines, that she had instructed that all investigation and the investigation and prosecution of all TRC related cases must be put on hold pending the development and the adoption of the guidelines. We had a lengthy, I cannot remember all the details of my discussion with Ackerman, but because Ackerman was actually insisting that we must proceed, and I then said to him, I actually pleaded with him and said, well, look, let's just wait and get an understanding of what exactly is happening. But at the end of it, what the minister had said was placing an effective moratorium on all TRC cases.
After the break, U.S. President Donald Trump is reportedly considering a limited strike followed by a large attack on Iran, even as diplomatic efforts continue. Let's give you the details after the break. Thank you for staying with us. In news further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump is reportedly considering a limited strike followed by a large attack on Iran, even as diplomatic efforts continue. U.S. and Iran negotiators will meet later this week for the latest round of talks aimed at achieving a nuclear deal.
Well, the White House has been saying for some weeks that diplomacy is the president's first option. But advisors within his administration report that plans are being drawn up for possible multiple strikes against Iran. Strikes that could take place irrespective of diplomacy and even ahead of the next round of negotiations. US and Iranian negotiators are going to be sitting down in Geneva on Thursday. But President Trump has reportedly told advisors to draw up plans for a limited strike against Iran, which could happen before Thursday, potentially hitting government and military targets, as well as planning for a larger strike if that initial one does not force Iran to make a deal. At heart is the Trump administration's desire to significantly limit Tehran's nuclear ambitions and give up any hopes of ever being able to make a nuclear weapon. Iran, of course, maintains its uranium enrichment is for peaceful, civilian purposes. But if the US strikes Iran, there are fears that Iran will retaliate and possibly order its proxies to attack US bases in the region. So we could see Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen carrying out attacks on US bases that are located in other countries in the Middle East and potentially therefore sparking a much larger, wider regional conflict. Nick Harper, SABC News, Washington.
And now for your latest in the world of sports. Kaizer Chiefs firmly believe that the Betway Premiership title is still within their grasp. Having played 2 games less than log leader Orlando Pirates, Amakosi are currently 4th on the log after 15 matches and just 8 points behind the Soweto rivals. They will play 2 massive games this week to try and close the gap and climb up the ladder.
Although it's derby week, Kaizer Chiefs are taking it 1 game at a time. They host bitter rivals Orlando Pirates on Saturday in the much anticipated derby. But first, they take on a tricky Stellenbosch FC, also at the FNB Stadium on Tuesday evening. Amakosi have improved in leaps and bounds after finishing 10th last season.
So we are taking each game by game, each game as a cup game. Now today we have only Stellenbosch in our mind. We think only about Stellenbosch. We think only about the game of tomorrow. Then when we finish the game of tomorrow, we'll start to think about the derby.
Chiefs have learned valuable lessons after failing to reach the quarterfinals of this season's CAF Confederation Cup.
I think obviously after the last game we had to reflect and see what we did wrong, what we did right. And at this point I think this game is very important because I think now we're going to the last bunch of games, so we know what's at stake.
With tickets for Saturday's Soweto Derby sold out just hours after they went on sale, organizers are now planning for an incident-free spectacle. This season's race for the league title features the elite and is most likely to go down to the wire. Sfiso Ramara, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, with that, let's check in with the weather forecast for the latest in temperature changes over tonight and tomorrow. For that full picture and details, it's over to the weather desk.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country. Now, we do have a cut-off low that's causing all these rainy conditions over most of the central parts of the country. We are talking widespread showers and thunder showers over the Northern Cape, stretching to Free State all the way into the interior of the Eastern Cape. Scattered as we move towards Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal, just isolated over Gauteng for tonight. For tomorrow, a little bit of clearing. Those widespread showers and thunder showers only expected over Kabeja, stretching into the interior of the Eastern Cape, but still scattered as we we move towards most of the central parts of the country. Gauteng still isolated for tomorrow. Only a cloudy day is expected over parts of Limpopo, especially over Musina, stretching into Guyana. Looking at our conditions for tonight, we're expecting up to level 5 warning of some severe thunderstorm as we move towards that interior of the Northern Cape, stretching into parts of the Western Cape and also Free State, becoming a level 2 as we move into KwaZulu-Natal and the Western Cape. For tomorrow, we have up to level 4 over that interior of the Eastern Cape, stretching into parts of the Western Cape. Moving towards the Northwest Free State, all the way into that interior of KwaZulu-Natal, it is a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm for tomorrow. We are talking possibilities of heavy downpours, which can lead to flooding over those areas, so please, let's be careful. Overnight temperatures, it is going to be a cool night over most of the country. We are talking 40 over Sunderland. For tomorrow, it is a warm day over Johannesburg with a high of 23, 24 over Pretoria. Moving towards Limpopo for tomorrow, also expecting a mild day, especially over Polokwane with a high of 31. But Musina stretching into Toyado and Palaboro, it is a hot day with Palaboro at a high of 33. Moving to Mpumalanga, also mild conditions for tomorrow. Mbombela at 29, Emalahlede a maximum of 24. KwaZulu-Natal for tomorrow, level 4 warning of severe thunderstorm expected over Kostad with a high of 23, 27 over Pietermaritzburg, Durban at a high of 28. Moving towards the Eastern Cape, also mild conditions overall. Gqeberha at 24. Remember, we have that 80% chance of showers and thunder showers over that interior. Rainy conditions over the Western Cape for tomorrow, Cape Town at 25. Fernandel peaking at 29. Northern Cape for tomorrow, also expecting a warm day as we move towards Upington with a high of 26. Free State for tomorrow, remember, have those rainy conditions over Free State, that cut-off low causing havoc over that province. Bloemfontein at 24, Bethlehem at 21. And lastly, over the Northwest Province for tomorrow, mild conditions over Mahikeng with a high of 24. Bloemhof expecting a warm day with a maximum of 29. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
And we're going to have to park it here for tonight. We appreciate you always. Until next time, it's good night from us. God bless. Pula.